Hi, I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to review the Rosewill Blitz K50 RGB mechanical gaming keyboard. It does come with a Otomu brown mechanical key press key mechanisms. Sorry, having a brain fart here. So the switch type is Otomu brown. You can also get this with Otomu blue. I got this in Otomu brown because I already have another Rosewill with Otomu blue, and I wanted to be able to find out the difference. And I will explain that in shortly. It also has 14 pre-programmed LED backlighting effects, 5 customized backlighting modes, M1 to M5, and 6 macro keys, G1 to G6. And it has a scroll wheel for volume control, which is one of the main reasons that I chose to get this particular keyboard, because I really wanted an easy, simple, touch-and-go kind of volume control rather than having to hunt for keys and making sure I was pressing the right keys. I wanted to be able to very rapidly make changes to the volume like I used to do with my old Dell motherboard. It also has 2 USB ports for pass-through in the back of the keyboard, which my old Dell keyboard also has, and I really like that because then instead of having my vertical mouse plugged into the computer, taking up a valuable piece of USB space, it's plugged into the back of my keyboard where it's not doing that. And now that I think about it, I'm probably going to move my camera, to that as well, since I have one open space available. It has 100% anti-ghosting, detachable palm rest, which unfortunately in the description there's another. I was looking at this one and one more keyboard that also had a very easy to change volume control. That one, the palm rest is held in place by magnets. This one, it didn't explain how it was held in place. So I thought, oh, it looks the same, so I guess it must be magnetic. It's not, and I'll show you. It also has a software suite for customization, which I have not used. Sorry, I can't explain that stuff to you. I just don't have any use for it. Life cycle, 50 million keystrokes. Total travel, 4 millimeters. And now total travel refers to how far you have to push it before it activates. It doesn't explain how hard you have to push it before it activates. So behavior, blue is clicky, brown is tactile. That's one of the big differences. I didn't like the clickiness of the blue, and then blue, the sound is audible, brown, the sound is quiet. I like that quietness, and I like the fact that the blue requires more pressure. I get sleepy sometimes. I have some problems with getting brain fog and getting sleepy and stuff. And so on these brown switch types, unfortunately, as I get sleepy, I tend to start unknowingly push down on them, and they activate without me being aware of it. Whereas with the blue, there's enough resistance to me doing that it almost never happens. The keyboard layout, just like is the standard US 104 keys. Report rate, 125 to 1000 hertz. Don't ask me what that means. Sorry, I can't explain that. Keycap material, it's ABS. It's a type of plastic. The weight, 2.58 pounds. Dimensions, 18.74 by 8.97 by 1.53 inches. The cable length is 5.4 feet, which is enough for most people to be able to have their computer kind of far away and still have their computer keyboard plugged into it. It comes with the detachable palm rest, a very basic user manual, and a keycap removal kit, which I guess I'll just show you that right now. It's in here somewhere. Now, I don't know why they call it a kit, because that's all there is to it. But it allows you to very easily just get in there. Well, okay, maybe not so easily. And then you can pull it off. Unfortunately, it's not quite as easy as they make it out to be. but that's okay. Rather that it's a little bit too tight and you have to slide it over so it doesn't come off when you're pulling up, than have it be so loose that it comes off when you're trying to pull up. Just like that. It's very, very easy, even with your fingers. Well, I wouldn't say very, very easy, but you definitely, if you have a moderate amount of finger strength, you should be able to pull the caps off easily, as long as you're careful to pull straight up and don't break the stem that they're connected to. And this is the teeny tiny manual. And you can see a comparison between blue and brown right there. And just so blue 50 million and brown both have 50 million keystrokes. Blue and brown travel time is 4 millimeters, so it's the same. The blue is clicky, the brown is tactile, the blue is audible, the brown is quiet. Actually, what I've discovered is my keys, these browns, creak. It's like it's an old keyboard, and it's like a freaking creaky door half the time. And I just ignore it, but some people are going to be driven crazy by these browns because they're just really obnoxiously loud in a creaky kind of way. Actuation point, 2.2 for blue and 2.0 for brown. The actuation force necessary is 65 grams for both. So I'm going to disagree. You actually need more actuation pressure to activate the blue than the brown. That's based on my experience with my my other Rosewill that's sitting right over here, and this one, which I think that's K57. This is a K50. Let's see, anything else? Nope, that's about it. It comes decently packaged. There is this special foam stuff in here to help hold it in place inside the box, which is not how the K57 or whatever that is over there arrived. The protection within that one is less, but then again, that one is also not as valuable as this one is in terms of the market price. Honestly, I feel like they're charging way too much money for keyboards these days. Now, I wasn't terribly interested in some of the benefits of this, like the customized backlight modes, the macro keys. Honestly, I find these macro keys to be kind of irritating, because I'll be over here, I'll be looking at my screen using my keyboard, and I'll move my hand to the left to get the control or the shift, and I'll end up pressing these G buttons over here. And that's really irritating. I don't want that. So that's a definite negative for me. You can activate them using function plus the G button that you click on. And you can also use them without the function button to activate macros. And then you've got this, well, let me show you. Function. you can actually adjust the distance it is from the keyboard, and it's held in place. It's a very snug fit getting these in here. I felt a little bit nervous putting it on because I thought I might break them, and then where would I be? I'd be with a broken palm rest. And I don't even, because of this, because I've got a built-in palm rest, I don't even really need that palm rest, so I'll probably end up, if I continue to use this one because of the volume and the ports for the USB, but I'll probably get rid of the palm rest because it's just not necessary. So if we use these M keys over here, so they change the lighting effect. So that's M1, and here we have M2, and M3, and M4, and M5. So these highlight common clusters of keys used by gamers. So that's useful. It isn't useful for me, but it is useful for some people. I play different games, and some games need lots of keys, and some games don't, and I don't want to try to muck around with that. I just want, if I can figure it out, I'll use it eventually, but probably not because it's just not that important. The most important thing to me is to have the keys lit, and so there's that. So what else? Well, I already mentioned about the function keys. Now, if you want to set a backlight effect, and the backlight effects are spectrum, which is the default, ripple, shadow, touch and go, light wave, torrential rain, tide, rainbow, flower blooming, starry sky, snow, river, 7-color cycle, and breathing. And that's with function F9. If you want to increase the backlight speed, then you're going to use the += button with function to do that. If you and that only works for specific modes that have a speed aspect to them. If you want to decrease them, then you're going to use the -_ button with function. If you want to increase the brightness of the backlights, you're going to use the function plus page up, page down to decrease the backlight brightness. And then if you want to change the backlight color, you're going to use the up arrow key. So let me show you. Oh, where is it? Wrong one. Okay. No, I don't like that. But whatever. We'll live with it, right? I don't like this one. All right, I'm just going to leave it like this, just so that you can easily see the effects. All right? And I'm finding this rather awkward. I'm sure you're all sitting there laughing. So, if we use function and we use the += button, that will change the backlight effect. Now, I do need to actually change the mode. Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting. I haven't seen that one before. It's not very useful, but it's interesting to look at. Okay, this one is shifting. So if we use plus, it'll shift. That'll make it change colors more rapidly. If we use minus, then it'll make the colors change more infrequently. And there's only a certain number of times you actually have to press them to before you are not actually making a difference. If you want to change the brightness, then you're going to use page up and page down. So let's make it brighter, and you can get it all the way off. Now I want to see them, so I'm not going to do that. If you want to change to the next color, you're going to use function with this. And there are several colors to choose from. It doesn't look obvious from what I see on the screen, but there are actually changes going on there. Let's see, what else? Changing to the previous backlight in contrast, obviously, is going to be the down arrow. And then if you want to set the backlight effect in the leftward direction, you're going to use the left button. Now, this is not going to show that, so let me switch to something else. Come on. Okay, so let me see if I can get this to work. No, that's not the right one. I kind of find this amusing. Okay, so now it's going to shift to go to the left, and now it'll go to the right. Left, right. And let's see what else. Set the backlight effect in the rightward direction and leftward direction, and then if you use insert, you set the rim backlight effect. I don't know why they didn't call it a strip, because it's a strip. They called it rim, which let me know that, oh, up here, you could call this the rim, so that must be what I was looking for the whole dang time that I couldn't find it. We're going to be using print screen. And you can scroll, you can rotate through the options for that. And then if you want to increase the speed, you're going to use the scroll lock button. If you want to decrease the speed, you're going to use home. And obviously with function all the time. Now, if you want to go back to the factory default settings, you're going to use function plus delete and hold it for a few seconds. It's flashing, and now it's set to the defaults. Now, if you want to, again, you can actually customize M1 through M5 by using function and then escape, and that will allow you to record what you want. So let me just show you the instructions, because I'm not going to, it's awkward enough as it is. So then once you've got them programmed, instead of the gamer's keyboard layout thing that is showing, you can define it to whatever keys you need, however you want them to be displayed, and then you have 5 different things. So if you're playing 5 different games that have 5 different keyboard setups, you're all set. And then the macro keys, you record macro keys by using function and G1. And then the instructions. And like I said, I never used the software suite. I didn't go looking for it. I'm not even aware of where you go to get it, because it isn't included in the box naturally, because nowadays most people don't even bother having a DVD player. So why are companies going to send out discs that are just going to get tossed in the garbage? Everybody thinks, oh, all I've got to do is use the internet now. If all you're doing is using the internet, that gives companies a lot more control over you. When I was young, you bought software, it was yours forever. Now, you buy software, you own it for a year or 6 months or a month or whatever. You have to pay a subscription for the rest of your freaking life, which makes these software companies really, really rich without extra effort to a large degree. And you are getting screwed over. I really hate the subscription model. I hate it. I mean, yes, short term, you're going to spend less money than if you buy something expensive like Microsoft Office or Adobe Creative Cloud. Short term, you're spending less. Long term, within X number of months or years, you're spending way more than it would have cost you to buy the actual software. We're all renters, and that's all thanks to the fast speeds on the internet, because when I was first on the internet, speeds were like, and now they're like, so, yeah. Now, why would you want this keyboard? Well, it's good for messing with the lights. A waste of time, in my opinion. But if you want to play with the lights every day and change them every day, have at it. And again, if I could have gotten something less expensive that had what I wanted, which was the palm rest, which this one is, not particularly wonderful, and magnetic palm rest, because I didn't want it to get broken, the USB ports, the media controls that are separate from the everything else, and some lighting so I can see the keys when I have my lights off. That's all I really, really wanted. I didn't want all these extra macro keys, but I've tested it, as far as I'm willing to test it. And so if these are things that are interesting to you or useful to you because of your gaming or your work, hey, I'm not going to, be like, no, don't get it. If you need it, get it. But honestly, the excessive number of things for the lighting to me is just silly. So, also because the keys are too sensitive, I really wish I'd gotten the blue switches instead. But, it is what it is. I bought this to test it so I could tell you guys about it. And now I've been talking about it for a long time. So I'm going to stop talking about it, and I'm going to let you ask me questions in the comments section, if you have any. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.